Hello Lolas, or should I say Gem Pop crew? Yes. So before we get started in this video, you already know, go ahead and click that subscribe button, that red subscribe button. Make sure that you click the bell so that you are notified, and also make sure that you join Team Serenity in my channel membership. There should be a join button next to the subscribe button. And if not, look in the description and there will be a link for you to follow. But getting right along, I'm going to read the definition of art for some of you guys. Art: the expression or application of human creative skill and imagination, typically in a vision form such as painting or sculpture, producing work to be appreciated, primarily for their beauty or emotional power. Fine art, artwork. The various branches of creative activities such as painting, music, literature, and dance, the visual arts. Now, with that being said, when one speaks on life casting, this new, whatever they call it, where they scan a real baby and turn it into a doll, when one says they don't see that as art, that is supporting facts as into why one may feel that way. Doesn't mean that it isn't a good idea, doesn't mean that it's not great. It just means that to some of us, we don't see it as art. Art to me is something handmade, something that is created and hand painted by an individual. Even if it's not great art, it is still art. If Gabby sits down and stroke 10,000 colors on a piece of paper and circle it and write her name on it and say, "Here, mommy," that is art. It is art for my baby, and it is art because she created it. It was from her little imagination and her thoughts. Now, if Jenny Craig sculpt a baby and Craig Jenny go back and sculpt a baby from her baby, is it still art? I don't know. I'll leave y'all to ponder on that. I know it likes the creative part, but I don't know if you would still consider that as being art. Just not sure on that. But that's, not the point of the video. Anyway, I don't know why I got into all of that, because really I came to talk about armatures in the babies and how I feel about armatures right now at this point. I always go through all these phases where I want to try this and I want to try that, and I want to have the least experience one of everything. I had to try armatures in the arms and in the legs at the same time, and then the squishy tummy. I've had to, with the silicone babies, with my reborns, I had to, I wanted to experience texture, non-texture, the different paint styles from different artists. That's just what I like to do. My opinions are strong on something one minute and then it changes the next. It just depends. I personally like armatures for the posability of the doll, being that I love to take a lot of photos. So I really do love armatures for that reason. I did learn that, I do love also the flexibility of just the flimsy silicone. It's not 100% as realistic, but it's kind of hard to get that happy medium, because armatures might be a little too stiff to be as real, but then the jiggly may be too jiggly to be as real. So it's kind of like every now and then you hit the happy medium. What I want to remind people, and I want to revisit this topic before, and I know I've discussed it before, but I want to say, stop comparing your doll to your neighbor. Let me repeat that. Stop comparing your doll to your neighbor. These dolls are handmade individually. It doesn't matter if it's made by a master artist or a rookie. They will never, mark my word, never, say that with me, they will never be the same. I don't care if Kenny Sue and Billy Sue and Jilly Ray had their dolls poured the same day. The pour is always going to be just a little different. It's never going to be the same because it's made by a human being and it's not going to be the same. Nothing can ever be exactly the same. Can be close. Can be close. Vinyl kits, a lot more closer to being the same than a silicone baby. However, I've had vinyl kits that there's variations in it, in the kits, in the beginning of the edition to the end of the edition. I've seen it all. It's, you know, oop. Do y'all see that? He's drooling. Okay, I'll explain while he's drooling. I felt like maybe he got a little spray or something on his face. He's still drooling. And so I took him to the sink and I rinsed him off his face just a little, leaned him over, fully dressed and everything, and just rinsed his face a little. And so a little bit of his hair got wet, so it is a little wet. It's drying now. But so I rinsed him, and then he got water in his mouth because I also wanted to rinse some of the KY out of his mouth, and I didn't never dry it. So boop, there you have it. Special effects, but you guys probably couldn't see that on the camera, but I definitely felt that cold water, and I was like, whoa, wait a minute, this is not Bella. He's not supposed to be spitting out water or anything. So anyway, but yeah, so armatures, I like them for that reason. So it depends on what you collect for. Again, don't compare to your neighbors. If you like something, you like it, honey. You don't have to worry about Shaniqua next door. You don't have to worry about her. You don't have to worry about Sally across the street, because guess what? It's what you like. It's your money, honey. Okay? Okay. So don't be on here trying to justify your purchase, explain why you did this, explain why you did that. Don't do that. Don't do that. You don't need to. First of all, let me also say, people, stop listening to these people bash every different feature. Just because they don't offer it don't mean it ain't no good. Armature's gonna poke through. Armature's gonna break. Armature's gonna do this. Armature's gonna do that. Okay. Well, you know what? This is gonna sound silly. Crazy analogy. But I was reading somewhere and someone says all armature is gonna break. If you keep bothering with it, blah, 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 it's gonna break. Well, guess what? Your bones will break too. So maybe we should have been made without bones too. So, like, I mean, guys, if you keep breaking down the art to the simplest form, what is it left to enjoy? If we gonna be that scared to do anything or live or experience anything that we want, we might as well not experience it at all. Why are we here? I'm not gonna sit here and break down my dolls down to the nitty gritty. I'm sorry. I can't do it. I will sit here and I will say, I love this sculpt because he looks relaxed. He's a sleeper. I love him. Lilianne sculpting is so beautiful. I love the way his silicone is so smooth. It's not bumpy. It's not rough. Claire did an amazing job on his painting, his rooting, blah, 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 blah. But I'm not going to go. And this toe to the left, there's a minute scratch here. And then Lilianne went a little deep on the crease here. And then the third crease. And then he has 5 creases, 15 dents, 2 moles, 1 bump, 5 aches, 3. Who wants to listen to that crap? You know? I'm over it. And then the forums is like, oh my gosh, it's like, I I get so tired of seeing people, when they don't offer something or they don't do something, it's the worst in the world. Fast forward a year later, 2 years later, next thing you know, they've learned how to do it, or they found a product that they like and they do it. Now all of a sudden it's the greatest. But when you wasn't doing it, it was the worst. Oh, but my way is the best way. Come on, guys. Don't buy into that hype. If I want an armature in my doll, I'm getting an armature in my doll. If I don't, I'm not. Simple as that. I don't care if it's realistic or not realistic. If I want the head flopping and falling all the way back and touching the heel of his foot, I know a real baby don't do all that. But guess what? If I want it and it's my money and somebody's going to provide it for me, I'm going to get it. That's simple as that. Like this is getting ridiculous. It's just getting crazy. I'm not trying to tell nobody what to do. I'm just telling you what I'm not into. And you know, people write me and say, can you compare this, compare? No, I'm not getting in the middle of that. I'm not getting in the middle of all that. Who know the most about silicone? Because a lot of that stuff, I watch some of those videos and they don't know what the hell they're talking about. I'm just going to keep it real with you. A lot of that stuff is false information. I know, because I verified with certain artists, and I've talked to a lot of different silicone artists, pourers, REBORN artists, all that behind the scenes that I never discuss on my channel because I'm not friends with any of them. But when I do business transactions with people, I do get information on the dolls that I collect. And a lot of this stuff, information that's being given to you guys, is a bunch of bull crap. And if you guys believe it, that's on you. I don't have nothing to do with it, and I really honestly don't care. But since this is my platform and I just like to share with you guys my knowledge, I'm just saying, stop letting people ruin your experience and stop buying into this hype. It's great to do details videos. It's great to compare sculpt for sizes and stuff, because us collectors, we want to know. I look at people's channel. I watched a video the other day of a doll because I wanted to know how it moved, and I wanted to see things that the artists just never show. And I saw those things in a collector's video. I usually find my answers in a collector's video. Sometimes it's not even what the collectors is trying to show on the video that I'm looking for, but I find it in just certain other things that as they're going along with the video. But as far as me trying to tell you who's the best and who's this, I'm done with that. If you want to buy a doll that's going to lose paint in 10 days and all the matting's going to be gone, that is on you, and congratulations. You will have a powder baby for the rest of your life, and that's perfectly okay with me. I am not going to sit here and do that. And people can stop asking me to try to join into this stuff. I'm not going to go into that anymore. I'm not going to be like, I'm this particular artist and that particular artist spokesperson, because I'm not on nobody's payroll. Well, except my job. I accept my job, right, Pookaloo? Yeah, I can't. I'm enjoying this hobby for what it is. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Another thing, I just read the definition of art to you guys, and I said, you know, appreciate the art. But guess what? When I came into this hobby, I didn't come in here for art. I didn't come in here for name brands. I came strictly for the love of dolls, my passion for lifelike dolls. I am a realist. I have been like that since I was a little girl, even with cartoons. I know the Smurfs wasn't the most realistic looking people, but they had like a great storyline. I never watched a lot of these other crazy things. I don't know. Anyway, when I collected my dolls, yeah, sure, I had Strawberry Shortcake did have a realistic look. I didn't like Barbies. I didn't like certain dolls and stuff, but I was very excited when my grandmother found this one doll that looked very real. It was a sleeper, so people used to say it looked dead, but I really loved that baby, and it was weighted really nice. And I've always been on the chase for realistic dolls from that point. So when I found that this hobby, that is what I came here for. And then I began to get more into the art, especially as I was going along, because my daughter is an artist and she was in an art school. She graduated from an art school, and she going to her art galleries and stuff like that, and you know, just trying to better learn my daughter personality and all that and stuff, because artists kind of think a little differently. I was told to never call them weird or anything like that, but they think differently, because they think from a side of the brain that a lot of us don't use. Some of us don't use our brain at all, but you know. Anyway, this video is going too long. I'm gonna stop here, guys. Thank you guys for watching. This is Mr. Puck Santana. He is sculpted by Lilianne Breedveld, poured and painted and rooted by Claire Teller. He is not a prototype. He is just my sweet little Pukaluka, and I am so in love with him, and he's my favorite baby, and he is the base model. He is basic. He does have armatures in his arms, but that's it. No drinking wet. No, he's Ecoflex 20. No special mix, no nothing. That's it. He's just absolutely gorgeous, and I love him. See you guys later. Thanks for watching.